Born 1932, D'Arcy Doyle became a tradesman, painter and a signwriter. Only in his 30s did he become an independent professional artist, painting many assignments throughout Sydney. In 1973, with a young family, he returned to Queensland, building a home on 2 acres in Mudgeeraba in the Gold Coast Hinterland. One of D'Arcy's famous paintings, The Cricket Match, was subject to a then novel marketing strategy, the production and sale of a limited edition of personally autographed prints. The first edition of 1,000 prints sold quickly, leading to several reprints. Many of his other paintings were sold the same way, always with great results. His work has been likened to the American artist Norman Rockwell, in that they both found inspiration in the ordinary and succeeded in capturing an essence of national spirit in their paintings. This led to him becoming Australia's best-selling artist in the 1980s, and it was estimated that 1 in 10 Australian homes had one of his works in some form. D'Arcy passed away in 2001, but his legacy lives on in his timeless and quintessentially Australian art. The D'Arcy Doyle Art Awards endeavours to honour this legacy with a new generation of artists.
These are junior, so these are like 12 to...
If you think of it, look on your computer. Mr. Bennett's, Mr. M-I-S-T-E-R, Bennett's Instagram. Just put that in.
I won't remember that. We have to use the computers as little as possible. But anyway.
I might change my mind, but we'll see how much money I've got.
D'Arcy Doyle was a landscape painter. What made you decide as the organiser to widen it slightly to include portraits?
We included portraits and still life because still life sells somewhat, and portraits, people like looking at portraits. So it was just a bit of a relief from looking at landscapes. 2/3 of the exhibition is landscapes and 1/3 has the relief of portraits and still life.
In terms of the artists that you get submitting work, are they always returning artists, or do you always get a pool of new artists approaching you?
We do have a pool of artists who do return, but it's quite interesting. Year after year we do have quite a lot of new artists. And so it makes the art show look different every year, so it's very good.
And what do you think of this particular exhibition?
Very high standard, amazing, yes, really beautiful and all masterpieces,
Very
wonderful.
Good. This exhibition is obviously very well known, and it's popular and it's grown. You only have a certain amount of space. So what's it like having to decide what goes in the exhibition and what unfortunately you cannot?
We've been able to tailor the entries right from the very beginning. At the very beginning, artists could put in 4 or up to 6 paintings, and over the years it's been whittled down to now they're able to put in 2 paintings, but one of them has to be landscape. It's mainly a landscape exhibition, and the major prize, which is at the moment $10,000, is for landscape.
You've obviously been to the exhibition quite a few times.
Yes.
Have you seen like an emerging trend or a theme of the art or the people who are coming here?
Certainly. I've noticed that during the last 2 or 3 years there have been a lot more people support the exhibition. a lot of, it is a mix. It has become almost a family type of exhibition because grandparents, parents, children all become very involved in it. And in fact they do have a junior section now where the young school children exhibit their work, and it is really very creative.
Well, I think the major change over the last few years with the Da'Arcy Doyle Art Awards, we established a junior Da'Arcy Doyle Art Awards, and I wanted to encourage the children because they're the artists of the future, and it's really taken off. Because of space, we have to control it, but we are running into a problem now. What do we do in the future with the children? Because that's an area I really do want to expand. And what is happening is a younger crowd is coming to the gallery, and it's terrific to see children with their parents coming in. Whereas in the early days, it was mainly the older people or adults only. So it's very encouraging.
And in terms of the size and the success of the exhibition, do you think it's best to try and keep it within this lovely memorial hall, or do you feel there's a need to make it bigger and therefore you have to move?
I want to try to keep it in the hall. At the moment, there are about 370 paintings on show, and I think that's big enough for anyone going to a gallery. You get tired after a while. If it's too big, you start to lose interest. So I'd like to keep it this size. It's just that we might have to find more space for the children.
And how long have you been associated with this exhibition?
With the Da'Arcy Doyle, as an artist, I've been coming to the Da'Arcy Doyle for 3 years now, and I actually sold my first painting in the exhibition of the Da'Arcy Doyle. Yes! But this year I was humbled enough to be asked to help Earl with the event as in the publicity area, so I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, you're not a total one-man band in what you're doing. You need helpers and you need sponsors. So how's the exhibition growing in terms of support?
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank our team and our committee. They're all very proficient in what they do, and at the moment I've got very capable people around me, and that really is an important thing. It really helps me. And looking at the setup here, for instance, it's huge, but all these paintings have gone up in 4 hours. So we have a very capable team in doing it, and it's beautifully presented. So they do a wonderful job. But also the community is becoming more involved with the Da'Arcy Doyle now, and a lot of people, a lot of their businesses and so forth, and the Lions Club and so forth, they're all on board, and they support the Da'Arcy Doyles. And physically the Lions Club sort of handles opening night and all the rest of it, so very lucky that the community is well and truly behind it, plus our local councillor and politicians.
So I understand the opening night was quite an event. Is there anything you can say about
The
that?
opening night was extraordinary. I mean, the place was absolutely packed, and it was a beautiful night. But yes, and the food, for instance, all the local eateries, restaurants and takeaways, they provided all the food for opening night. So that hadn't been done before. So it's really nice to have all these people on board, and they willingly volunteer.
So in terms of the artists here and the age range, what's your opinion of how things are going?
Well, I'm very interested in the children's section because the children are the artists of the future, and also their art is so charming and childlike that it teaches us older artists that we should be looking for our inner child as well.
We're now in our 13th year, and it's going extremely well. I'm very happy with the 13th year.